and gentlemen, welcome to Speakeasy Live. Let me hear it real big. Wake it up. All right, everybody, real big for your host, Glew.
Hello and welcome everyone to the Chalice Cup 2016. We have a very special episode of Speakeasy Live show for you today. This is the hottest place to be in cannabis right now. Not just because of the temperature and not just because of the undercover officers out there. It's hot. And I'll tell you what, we got a lot of great vendors here. We got a lot of great people. The cannabis community is being very, very well represented out at the Chalice Cup 2016, the hottest place in cannabis. So without further ado, we're going to get started with the Speakeasy Live show. I'm going to welcome in my co-host, Medicinal Mike.
Clap it up. Ladies and gentlemen, first give a round of applause to all these beautiful, beautiful women that are joining us today on this stage. I say give a round of applause for the beautiful women that are joining us here today. And a bigger round of applause for one of the top cannabis attorneys in the United States ever to exist, Christopher Glew.
Guilty as charged.
I will be your co-host, cannabis comedian Medicinal Mike. We have got a great show today here at the Speakeasy Live. Later on in the show, we are having chronic king of comedy, Stoner Rob. It's okay.
That's exciting.
Yeah, and without further ado, our first guest here at the Chalice 2016 2016 event, our first guest. Welcome. If you've seen the show Blow, it starred Johnny Depp. It was a very big show about a man who fought through Prohibition, ended up in prison, then ended up becoming one of the largest drug kingpins in the United States, served 20 years of prison sentence, and we have him here today. Welcome to the stage. Johnny Depp played him, the real-life Boston George Jung. Woo! Get right in here, George. How you doing today? Are you enjoying the Chalice 2016?
It's phantasmagorical. And
it?
These phones remind me of when I was flying in a load into Los Angeles, bringing in a couple of keys on flight 420.
How do you feel now? Because you did 20 years for what now seems like everybody's doing legally out here. Is it a shock to see that difference in the society?
No, it's not a shock. I knew it was happening out here, and that. You know, it's like American ingenuity, and there's still thousands and thousands of guys in jail doing time for marijuana. I mean, and something has to be done about that to get them out of there.
Yeah, too many people in prison right now for cannabis.
Yeah. And, you know, it's a double standard, a double-edged sword. In 3 or 4 or 5, 6, 8 states, it's legal, and we have kids doing 15 years. Young kids, you know, they're going to get out when they're 40, okay? Their whole life is shot to hell in a handbasket. And really, if you want to do something, you know, get out there and vote and petition the president and your congressman and whatever, and get those kids out of there.
Yeah. Make a difference.
Now, if there was one thing, you know, looking back that you could change, is there anything that you would have done different as opposed to how life is now?
Not a goddamn thing.
Yeah, there it is. That's truly inspiring when a man like you has that to say after all those years.
Yeah, the story itself, too, is one of the most touching. Like, to see you in real life is a shock, because he looks like Johnny Depp. Or Johnny Depp looks like him.
It's a clone. It's a clone.
Well, I don't know. There's a big gap there. But I'm glad I didn't marry his wife.
Oh, no. When you came in, Chris Glew was like, "Do we have Johnny Depp on today?" And I'm like,
"Just a younger version, apparently."
We just might. That's how we got all the ladies in.
Well, if his divorce goes bad, he'll look like me now.
So, are you on a probation or anything? Are you able to ingest cannabis or just kind of watch and enjoy the scene?
No, I'm restricted from that, and I can watch and enjoy the scene.
We'll make sure we
But
make it very entertaining.
I'm never going to tell the truth anyway.
Right. Is he able to not get a medical card of some sort as a patient?
Well, you see, when you're on probation in the state of California, and I'll just give our listeners that are here this example, and federal probation's different. They can do anything they want. They're gods. They tell you you can't have a Vicodin, you can't have a Vicodin. They tell you can't take a specific poppy seed, it's off limits. They don't care. You could have a prescription from your doctor, and it's not authorized, it's not allowed. In the state of California, though, for patients who have medicinal cards, they can petition the court and actually ask for permission to use cannabis. However, there's a case right on point that says if your conviction is cannabis related, then you should specifically be denied the right to use marijuana while on probation. So it's a little bit of a catch-22.
It's not patient-based at all. They don't.
No.
It's not like they care if you're sick or you're healthy.
Right. There's a specific exclusion for people that are serving time in California penitentiaries. They're not allowed to use. They don't have the patient rights. So a lot of the people that, quite frankly, really should be able to use marijuana, heck, if you're doing 10 years in prison, the one thing they should be promoting is the ingestion of cannabis.
Well, when it says United States of America versus you're in big trouble, bro.
Right. That's the one person you don't want to see on the other side of your lawsuit is the United States of America. There are countries that write that on T-shirts.
There's countries that quiver when it says United States versus them. Imagine how it feels to be an individual.
I don't have to imagine it. I know.
If you ever wonder, George is the guy to talk to.
George, you have a book. The book is titled after the movie. It's called Blow.
Yes.
And you can get this book here at Chalice today. Boston George is right over here in, what is that, Wookiee Land?
Wookiee Flame.
Wookiee Flame. The Wookiee Flame
Sounds
Land.
like a Chinese restaurant.
Building one.
Maybe you could even coax a signed copy out of them.
Now, most people don't know, before any of the hard drug charges, you were one of the biggest cannabis movers. Like, you were just a cannabis guy until convicted, and, you went to prison, and then all of a sudden, convicted felons gave you this great idea to upgrade.
They put me in a cell with a Colombian, and I don't know if it was
Manifest destiny.
They wanted it to happen, or I believe in manifest destiny, and it took no more than 5 minutes for him and I to create a plan, and
5 minutes.
Well, welcome. Here's the spoon and a map.
They often say that about the jails, especially in California. That's the best networking opportunity for a drug smuggler.
That's right.
But I was making like $300 on a Mexican kilo, and then I said, "How much does that coke cost down in Colombia?" And he said, like $3,000 to $4,000. I said, "What does it sell for in the United States?" He said 60,000.
Oh yeah.
I fell off my bunk and I said, "God damn it, I love you."
And that began the career of George.
So nowadays, how do people get a hold of you if they want to talk to you, if they want to, get a part of your life?
Just call Trends Love George. We don't take any calls from men now.
Oh, there you go. Honestly, though, people, one of the best movies of all time, Blow. Go see it.
An
you
even
will
better
be blown
book.
away.
Even better book. So if you like the movie, you're going to love the book. Everybody, a big round of applause for Boston George Jung, Uncle Stoner.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for coming into the Speakeasy Show. We're going to be right back after this live read from
Live
Christopher
commercial.
Glew.
Yes. All right. We've got CBD living water in the house. One of the best waters you can possibly drink. It is a non-THC water. It will not get you high, but it will help save your life in so many ways. It helps with recovery. It helps with everything under the sun. It helps put a smile on your face. It helps me pay the bills. It helps. It helps us all. It helps us all, truly. I love you, Pirate Bill. We love CBD living water. Welcome back to the Chalice Cup 2016. One of our best and greatest hosts here, CBD Living Waters in the house, Pirate Bill. We love you, Pirate Bill. We are back with a very special episode of Speakeasy Live Show. Joined by my co-host, Medicinal Mike, refreshing himself, and Stoner Rob is in the house.
Hey, what's up, man?
Stoner Rob, if you haven't heard of him, he is on KCAL Radio all over Riverside. Just about every single morning you've heard Stoner Rob. He also headlines at the Improv. You've seen him on the Jung and Chung inaugural podcast right there. The very first comic to ever co-host with Tommy Chong that wasn't blood related to him. He's also the headliner of the Blacklist session. You can see him tomorrow on the main stage at Chalice 2016. And right now, it live, Speakeasy Live, that is, Stoner Rob. Give it up for him, people. He works his butt off, saving kids with jokes.
Hell yeah, what's up, man? I'm glad to be here in half of Mike's living room.
They think we're a Chalice.
He brought out TVs.
Yeah.
He thinks he's somebody.
You're
Hey, don't get it twisted, people. These will be returned to Walmart tomorrow morning. We don't have them for the whole weekend.
right.
Unless you come back tomorrow.
Right, of course. Now, you are one of the top cannabis comedians in the country. What does that mean for somebody? What's the difference
It
between
means
like a
he's
regular
funny,
comic?
man. It means he's funny.
Well, regular comics are funny too, but he's a funny cannabis comic. What makes somebody a cannabis comic?
That's true. Well, 90% of my jokes aren't about weed either. Like, what I do is I bring you comedy through a stoner's perspective. You know what I mean? Like, some people look at the glass half full. I look at the glass and say, hey, bong water. You know? So like, I bring you different kinds of jokes, man.
It's like like you have Chris Glew, successful cannabis
His
educator.
middle name used to be Sniffs, by the way. I don't know.
Used to be.
Chris.
Didn't know I got rid of that.
Sniffs Glue. I like that. We're going to keep that. So this is what happens when you go to school and you work hard. And then you cannot go to school and become comedians like us, and you get this.
Yeah,
But we're all working at the same table right now.
Hey, we're all in the same spot, man. That's all that matters,
Good
right?
life choice, Glue.
Matter of fact,
Where did I go wrong?
he's my ride, so...
Damn it, I thought you were my ride.
Hell no, I'm riding with the lawyer. You saw how it
boy.
worked for Fear and Loathing.
Right.
That's right.
We're going to take it down.
Yeah, that didn't play out real well in the end, did it? I think I missed the ending
I
of
never
that.
make it to the end, yeah.
So how do you feel right now as being an entertainer in cannabis? How do you feel that prohibition is going? Do you feel like you're going to be more successful after weed is legalized, or is it a better market now that it's all niche and we're such a tight community?
I think it's totally up to the comedian. Like, you got to blend to your audience anyway. So no matter what, weed being legal, weed not being legal, Mormon society, Black Panther parade, I'm going to go in there and kill the goddamn stage. But as far as weed being legal, I think it'll help a lot more, because I think some of these old people, will take their first puff and be like, now I get that joke, man. Now it's cracking.
So you're doing it for the old people.
I'm doing it for the old. That's how I always do it.
Doing it for the old people.
The cannabis industry is only expanding, and the opportunities for guys that are in the cannabis industry in any form are really unlimited. And especially now with all the momentum from the elections coming up, I mean, now you're going to have to do political comedy.
Right.
Hell, I can't wait to hear the stoners' take on voting for Donald Trump or Hillary Clinton.
Well, first of all, you're going to see the Mexican take that I don't want to get deported, so we're not going to vote for Donald Trump.
All right, there you go. Enough said.
Can't spell country without C-U-N-T, so there's fucking Clinton right there.
I don't think we curse.
Oh, freaking Clinton.
There you go.
It works.
So now you host what's it's called the Blacklist Sessions
The
every single
Blacklist,
weekend out there in San Bernardino, California. How is it that you have a show that is very successful and it's a 2:15 show, and it's not getting any kind of law enforcement, or it's just been such a successful show for so long?
Well,
Why?
we operate at an Elks Lodge in San Bernardino. So operating at an Elks Lodge, we are grandfathered in, bro, for old laws.
You're basically invisible there.
Yes, meaning unless the cop sees somebody physically hurt in the parking lot, a cop cannot come onto our property. So
Can I get that checked by Mr. Glew? Is that a fact, sir?
Well, I don't know that that's a legally sound
that's what
theory,
we said.
but
Is he San Bernardino?
Where do you lawyer at?
yeah.
First of all, if a cop isn't trying to go down the street in San Bernardino, that's a smart cop. You know what I mean? Stay away from those streets. But we have a great, every Sunday, bro. Every Sunday, 4 to midnight. It's only $10 to get in. We do it all for the patients, you know what I mean? $10 to get in with your rec and ID, $50 gold bags.
And you guys donate out a lot of the money too. There's a lot of donations.
I throw out so much stuff
I'm
that...
not talking about the wax you're throwing off the
I
stage.
throw out a lot of
You
stuff
guys
at
are
Blacklist,
helping
Mike. You
kids.
just calm down.
I know.
I'm the Oprah Winfrey of the medical marijuana community. I'm like, you get wax, you get wax, you get wax.
and he's helping kids.
Well, their moms feel better about that, and they get better dinner.
Right. So much.
We don't all have
Mom,
to
your
wear
food
real
is so
suits
yummy.
around.
I went for that angle right
Look,
there.
I love Mike's suit. He still has shoulder pads in it. Like we jumped Diane Keaton and Jack this on the way here. Don't you? First Wives Club.
I'm
That's
keeping it
awesome.
forever, too. It's very expensive to dress next to Mr. Christopher Glew.
Yeah.
Who didn't suit up today.
No, it's too hot. I
Dude,
told you.
Do you
It's
know
too
I've
hot.
been wearing this since 7:30 this morning.
Right.
And you can check through my Instagram.
You've been wearing it since 7:30 last night. You drunk.
Shout out to Burlington. So, Stoner Rob, where can people find you? How can they become more of a part of you if they want to go to the blacklist and just all the good information that is you?
Oh, it's pretty easy, man. On any social media, that's including Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat, Stoner Rob. All one word, man. Stoner Rob. Come and check me out. Listen to KKL
And
96.7.
where's your next comedy show?
This Sunday night at the Ontario Improv. I'll be tearing it up this Sunday. Then Tuesday at the Brea Improv. Then I'll be back in Vegas for a while. And then the 28th at the Ontario Improv.
Where are you stationed at in Vegas?
Where am I stationed at?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not in the military, sir. I don't know. I have a house out in.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, so you don't have a headquarters
Are
where
you
you're
trying
at.
to find out where my grow is?
Yeah, actually.
These lawyers you got, Mike, they're trying to bust me on.
How much is your power bill there?
I thought this was a speakeasy, bro. You're a setup.
Oh, yeah, don't worry. Everything's on recording.
Right. Speaking to the wire.
Hey, bro, we always roll with great sponsors, by the way, and DTPC. That's one of my biggest sponsors. They're going to be back here at the High Life Music Festival. We love the spot. We love Victorville so much, you know what I mean? And then always the Blacklist. My boy Steve-O Saf Glass come down. You always see him blowing live glass at Blacklist, dude. So follow him at Saf Glass. And we brought some presents. If we could give them out. To the people.
Giveaway.
Are we allowed to
Just
give
throw
out
'em.
presents? Like, this is what I'm known for. I'm telling you, I'm Oprah.
As long as people
I'm
don't rush me in any way, because
Uh-oh.
Glew is
Nobody's
jujitsu.
gonna rush you.
He's
Let's
super
calm down.
jiu-jitsu. All these hot women have been rushing me all day. You don't know. They're
We paid 'em, Mike.
They're
We paid
stopping
'em.
right now because you're here. They don't want to
we put
embarrass you.
VIP tickets in your back pocket. Don't act like. We got free
Here comes the
pindies.
freebies.
Here we got from
Woo!
DTPC. Who's trying to get down right now?
Here they come. There it
you
is.
go.
Look out. Freebies coming out. Coming out. There it is. Hello.
I
Look
think this
out.
is the only live
Yeah, well, we've
cannabis
been throwing it out.
stage show.
And we don't even
at an
stop
event
there. Like, a lot of
that's
people-
doing freebies.
They'll throw
Right,
out
don't block the
stickers.
okay, block
A
the
lot of
camera.
people will
Don't
throw
block
out. Look at
the
them
camera.
stand up. They already know.
There you go.
Because a lot of people throw out
Defense.
lanyards. We rock DTPC. We loving it all day. But when you're throwing out grams of wax and half grams
what
of
you did.
samples, and
Look
you're
what
just
you did.
rocking that underground reserve, you know? Underground reserve,
You gotta
baby.
sit down. You gotta sit down, though.
Everybody,
Sit down.
everybody deserves a
go.
little black bag, Mike. What are you dabbing on? That's one for you. That's one for you. And I love
you
your
want for the
people
back
so
girls?
much.
Back
We're
girls?
gonna just get them going. Here we go, you guys. Wow.
There you go. There you go.
Wow. Oh, here we ain't gonna forget
Courtesy
There you go. Oh,
of the
we gotta go.
Underground
That's
Reserve.
why you living your life on Earth when you could be living it underground?
There you go.
Oh, I like it.
Damn, Underground Reserve. We do it all
Underground
day.
Reserve.
DTPC. Anyone that wants more from DTPC, you hit me up after the show. I got a lot for you guys. Much
The
love to
longest
Medicinal.
commercial we're doing in the world.
Hey,
Keep throwing. I like it.
Is this part of the show?
I
like
bring
it.
love,
Hot
bro.
girls.
I bring
wax
love
from
out
the
there.
stage. We can't do any better. That's the Stoner Rob show right there.
You know it, man. Thank you for having me. you
Stoner
guys.
Rob
Thanks for
killing.
coming
Everybody
in.
give a big round of applause. Stoner Rob, you can see him live headlining the Improv. Check it out at the Ontario Improv. KCal Radio, and you can see him at the DTPC booth. He's right over here at Chalice.
Thanks
And
for coming
check
in,
him out
man.
on the live stage, main stage tomorrow. One more time, folks, Stoner Rob. We'll be back right after these messages from Speakeasy Live, the show. Hashtag it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Speakeasy Live at the Chalice. Big round of applause. Wake it up. I want to welcome you guys over to Benji Cooper with your Speakeasy Cannabis News.
All right, well, earlier this year, the Australian Parliament passed a measure amending the country's Narcotics Drugs Act of 1967, allowing for cannabis to be grown for medical and scientific purposes for the first time. Now, medical trials for cannabis medicine have not begun yet, but New South Wales government has announced that it has secured the CBD or cannabidiol-based medicine Epidiolex for 40 children suffering from the most severe cases of drug-resistant epilepsy ahead of the scheduled medical trials in the coming months. Premier Mike Baird says, I've spoken to some of the parents and I've been moved by their tears. I just can't imagine what it would be like to stand there to look at your children suffering and continuing to suffer. The 40 children will be eligible for the medicine under a compassionate access program separate from the clinical trials. And Dr. John Lawson at the Sydney Children's Hospital says they hope to have hundreds involved in the program in the next 12 months.
Well, that's great. You know, Australia's been one of the progressive leaders, Mike, in moving forward with cannabis research and welcoming, you know, the medicinal aspect of cannabis. You know, you've got really, it's funny because, you know, Israel, Canada, you know, a lot of other foreign countries in Europe, and now Australia are really passing up the United States. And, you know, United States is truly the home of the cannabis culture, but we're lagging very far behind.
There's a country that's in Israel. There's a country in
A
Israel.
country in Israel.
Get
It's called
out.
Israel. You might have heard of it.
Are we going to start getting all political now?
There's actually, it's a company in Israel, and it's called, to translate to Heal the World, and they're treating up to 100 people a day with RSO oil that are literally walking right up to the building. They treat them, you know, parents are bringing their children, and now they don't limit any of the diseases either. They don't say, okay, you're sicker than this person, so you're going to get that medicine. But the United States is the one place that will deny, because it's still always looked at as a recreational factor over a medicinal factor.
Right, and I mean, how many times do we hear, you know, states when we talk about the news on the show, and states that are saying that we're only going to give certain qualifying conditions consideration under the medical laws, and a lot of times it's just random debilitating diseases that they picked out of a hat. Because if you go on any web search and look up all the different chronic and debilitating diseases exist out there, there's literally millions of them. And
Right.
to have a list with 7, that's just insane.
It has to be a popular disease.
Right.
You have
A
to have
big
a
cancer
musician
one or AIDS. That's always
then
the
you
one
get
that
the
gets in
money
there.
and you get the attention. But if you're suffering, like lupus is very hot right now.
Right.
And
It's
when I
not
say
on the
hot,
list in most states.
because they're just now discovering that everybody that's suffering from a lupus condition is a completely different affliction. You know, completely
Irritable
different.
bowel syndrome's another one that's not on any list, and that's one that, you know, a lot of doctors have said provides a lot of relief. You know, PTSD's barely made the list in most
Right.
places. So
That seems to be the one that they're taking to the moon right now. Like everybody's doing PTSD and it's opening up for everybody.
Right.
So it is a baby step start, and they say good start. But when it's something with cannabis, once they say it cures or it alleviates, it should immediately open the floodgates for access for anybody who is suffering from anything.
Absolutely.
What else you got, Benji?
All right. Well, a group of French researchers have published a new study in the Scientific Reports Journal and online at the National Institute of Health regarding cannabinoids and their role in the protection from alcohol-induced liver disease. In their study, they found that the activation of the CB2 receptor, which happens when cannabis is consumed, can protect the liver from inflammation and disease caused by alcohol. Using mice with alcohol-induced liver disease, researchers administered a cannabinoid receptor agonist to a number of them and found that it protected from alcohol-induced liver inflammation and steatosis, fatty liver disease. And the study concluded in big science words that altogether these results demonstrate that CB2 receptor activation in macrophages protects them from alcohol-induced steatosis by inhibiting hepatic inflammation through an autophagy-dependent pathway. In other words, if you consume CBD, it helps protect your liver from inflammation caused by alcohol.
So all you alcoholics out there better get over to the CBD booth. Let's
Got a lot of
go.
it flowing
All
around
you
here
alcoholics. We're going to save you CBD living water. But the best thing about that is the mice, the alcohol in mice.
Whose job is it to buy the little kegs? That's
Right?
what I want to
The
know.
tiny baby
tiniest
kegs.
bar.
It's just a little
Let's
tiny
go get
mouse
the mice
bar.
drunk, buddy.
You know, one thing that people don't realize is you are born with CB1, CB2 receptors in your brain. As an infant, if you are born without these receptors to get this CBD that's in your mother's milk, you will die of starvation. This is how your body knows that you need to eat. So imagine being born, and the only way you know to live is by getting the munchies. And because you have that naturally in food, you used to anyway, hemp seed oil and all kinds of natural CBD incurring things that they've removed from food, and now kids are all ADD and
So
they're all messed up.
translation is CBD is important.
Very important. CBD, hemp, every stuff. Eat it, wash your hair with it. It's great stuff. You can make your clothes out of it.
I think too many people are suffering from a cannabinoid deficiency in the country. That's part of the problem.
We're moving to
all
Israel.
kinds.
That and a few other
Yes.
things.
What else you got in the news there, Benji?
Well, a Mexican team was headed north to the U.S.-Mexico border this past week when his 2003 Volkswagen Beetle broke down near the Laredo checkpoint. It had stalled about 50 feet from the primary inspection lane, and it started spewing smoke. Border Patrol agents came over and helped 19-year-old Ruben Rodriguez push the Beetle into the inspection area, where a drug dog detected the scent of cannabis, which prompted inspectors to x-ray the vehicle. Agents then searched and found several bundles of marijuana hidden in compartments in the floor of the vehicle, which the agency reported in a press release that the total weight of the contraband was 75 pounds of marijuana with an estimated street value of $60,160. Chacon was taken into custody.
This is
and
Mexican weed we're talking about.
Okay, yeah, the
with
value seems wrong.
was being processed by the Drug Enforcement Agency.
75,000 pounds of marijuana?
75 pounds.
75 pounds, and they're saying it's worth $60,000.
Yeah.
That's not right. No, that's not right at all.
The experts agree.
Should
Well,
be-
typically in criminal investigations, the way that law enforcement breaks it down, especially if you're on trial for possession of marijuana illegally, they start off by saying, well, a typical gram sells for $10. Now, if we extrapolate that over a pound, and that's how they come up with their valuations. But they typically always go to the high end, and they start talking about $20 grams. And even $25 grams. So they start
Do
their
not
low-end
buy
estimation
cannabis from the
at
feds
$10.
is what it comes down to,
And that's
right?
one of my questions I always ask them, because I put my expert on afterwards who tells the truth and how you get price breaks and everything else. And then at the end, in the closing argument, I always tell them, so if you buy your marijuana from the federal government or from law enforcement, you're going to get burned.
Right, so what makes them an expert, I want to know, of...
Nothing.
And I don't mean like the not,
Nothing.
like I'm really good at saying...
Law enforcement goes to one seminar. It's the CNOA. It's the California Narcotics Officers Association, and they have one training seminar usually once a year, maybe twice, and they basically talk about all the street drugs in an 8-hour, one-day seminar, and they tell them, okay, this is what heroin is, this is what cocaine is, here's some pictures, here's what it looks like, this is marijuana, this is what it sells for. The end. Go
at
get
what
'em.
point do we give it to the mice?
And the drunk mice are running around, yes.
So that's your news. Speakeasy news right there. Everybody give a round of applause for Benji Cooper.
Benji!
Making cannabis news interesting and up to date. That's the most important thing. Having fun and learning. It's called edutainment. I just made that word right now. So if you heard anybody else say it, they're lying.
Copyright.
I want to welcome to the show our very special guest right here from the Cannariginals EMU 420 camp. And this is a topical. Not every kind of medical marijuana is kind that you smoke. Sometimes you put it on your body and it heals. You put it all over your body, all soft. It's nice. Welcome, Gary.
This isn't that kind of show, Mike.
Cannariginals EMU 420. It could be. It could be real easily.
Yeah, you turn it into that every once in a while.
It's a high testosterone show today.
I appreciate you inviting me over to hang out on the Speakeasy for a little bit. And
Now, you have one of the hottest products that are out right now for healing. And I say that because we see you, Cannariginals, in a lot of the cannabis events, but what people don't know is they're at a lot of events that aren't cannabis. They're at the House Foundation for lupus. They're at Miguel suffering from
yeah, we're big into epidermolysis bullosa.
epidermolysis bullosa.
Say that 5 times fast.
Yeah, that's-
Epidermolysis bullosa.
It's a mouthful. It took me a while to get used to it, but that's a special group of people, and of course our lupus community and our MS community, we're heavy with them as well. So we support. Matter of fact, we're at the Lupus Walk this weekend in San Diego. We're excited
Yeah, so
to
if you're in San
sponsor
Diego and
that.
you'd like to come out and support the Lupus Walk, it'd be great to have everybody there. And they're very cannabis friendly down there.
Yeah, it has
For the
been-
healing part, don't bring your blunts down to the Lupus Walk.
Please.
Yeah, they're not too friendly to that, but they're friendly to relief and things that make a difference, and that's the big deal. The news article, the first news article, it was surprising. It's a big deal that they're looking to get 100 children on this study for the epilepsy, and we have somewhere around 70 or 80 that are doing it right now here in California, right here in Southern California. It doesn't take a big effort as far as a big headline and a legal effort. It's just reaching out, and they're coming to us, and it's making a difference, and so it's exciting to be a part of the community.
Well, you had an event that you went to that I heard, and it was a lot of the senior community who's not super cannabis. It wasn't like, smoking oldies. This was an actual cannabis community that was suffering heavily from arthritic problems and a lot of inflammatory diseases. And they were able to experiment and use the EMU 420, and what happened?
Yeah, it was interesting. There's about 20 people, 6 of them had recommendations, and so we sampled the 6. Everything from dystonia to rheumatoid arthritis and some pretty serious back issues. And literally within 10 minutes, 100% of them were walking around. We got tears. It was emotional. It was like an old-fashioned revival. Watching these people feel better. And, that's what we do when we come to these shows. We've got a booth set up over here. And, any patients who want to come by and sample our products, we want to let them know what's going on and what it can really be like.
And you got some of your products with you today. What do you got?
I did bring a couple. As a matter of fact, we've got our Gold Line products. These are topicals. We've got a mentholated version, a non-mentholated version.
And they don't get you, quote-unquote, medicated or high when you put them on? Do I feel high when I put it on my elbow?
No, you don't get high when you put these on. We just released an extra strength black 180 rub. The last thing that we put on the market, I didn't bring with me. It's interesting you brought up irritable bowel syndrome. We actually launched a line of medicated suppositories here about 2 weeks ago.
Hey, you hear that, ladies? Medicated suppositories.
I can tell you, for people who are dealing with certain conditions, it's a life changer. Crohn's and IBS and a whole host of other issues.
And you do feel very medicated when you use the suppositories, and I'm telling you that from a fact because I've tried it.
I'm sure you feel a lot of things.
Yes, it's kicking in right now.
Yeah, that's a great story there. And we have some other things coming out that we can't really talk about just yet, but I can tell you that it's cutting edge.
Secret medicine.
It is. It's going to be, it's all about, with Cannariginals, the delivery system is just as important as the medicine. And so the things that we're getting ready to launch in the next 3 to 6 months are going to be, you've never seen it before, and we're pretty excited.
What kind of quality control do you do? Do you lab test all your products, or how do you...
Our extracts are lab tested twice before we receive them. We lab test our products after the mix to make sure that we've hit our numbers. And, very proud of our consistency. When we say 50 or we say 120 or we say 420, the numbers are coming in. We always round up. You don't round down. You round up,
Right.
That's the way you take care of the customer.
Nobody likes 418 either. It doesn't have the same ring to it. Where can people find you? How can they reach and get a hold of more Cannariginals?
Thanks for asking. You can go to cannariginals.com. That's our website. We've got a store locator. It'll show you the over 500 shops that we're in Southern California, and we're pushing into Northern California as well. We're heavy on Instagram. We have Cannariginals, and Emu 420 Essentials is our backup page, not only on Instagram, Facebook, Periscope. We're out there.
That's great.
Everybody, please, one big round of applause for a gentleman actually helping to heal the community more than he's trying to get it high. And that's Gary from Cannariginals. Check him out on @Cannariginals. And this is Speakeasy Live, and we're going to be back right after these messages with some more awesomeness from Chalice 2016. Everybody, welcome back to Speakeasy Live at the Chalice 2016 Festival. The only live cannabis edutainment show, live for you at a live event. We're sitting here, if you can see on my left, this here is Mr. Boo Williams, New Orleans Saints. Give it up for Boo.
Boo!
Thanks for having me, man.
Boo!
You know what? That don't look right. You holding the mic to my mouth.
I know it's a little bit, but it's
awkward.
This is eye candy right here. I'm not gay, but this is sexy. This is very sexy. I want to welcome our
That's a
first
disclaimer.
guest. He's my eye candy right now. If you can't get New Orleans, say Boo Williams for your. I can't have a really hot girl, but I could get Boo Williams' hot ass over here.
What are you trying to say about the girls behind you?
No, I got them, but they're back there.
Okay.
That's safe back there. I can have hot girls back there. You can't have hot girls right here.
Oh,
but
I
can have
see,
Boo Williams.
I see.
Like girls, if you date me, he might be hanging out with us. That's a plus.
He's enhancing your profile right now,
That's a
Mike.
plus. You're like a perk.
Snapchat that right away.
He's a perk. I can't cook, but I got Boo Williams. Chris Glew and I would like to welcome to the show our buddy Scott Bottano. Scott Bottano is the owner CEO of the most awesome social media site that you're going to find out there. It's called socialhigh.com. You'll notice that Facebook and Instagram is tearing down your pages because you put up weed or anything awesome about cannabis that you like, and they destroy it. So Scott here has created an outlet for that so that we can exist and be free people.
That's right. Thanks, Mike. Social High is actually an app on Android and iOS. It's Facebook for the cannabis community. We got stickers right here.
There
Help
they
yourselves.
are. Hey, get them out
Enjoy.
there.
You threw that out like money at the strip club.
No.
Make it rain.
There you go, Boo, like that.
If
Much
you're gonna
better.
do it, you gotta do it right.
I need to take you around with me. to
Social
help
High
promote.
made it right. That's my perk. Get your own football player. raiding off on the New Orleans Saints.
That's right.
See that? Where's your football player?
There's
Glew?
a lot of man love going on up in here right now.
It's intimidating, but I feel safe. I'm gonna say it. You feel safe.
You're safe.
I'll be your bodyguard for the day.
That's good.
I feel
got
like Whitney
Glew.
Houston should be breaking into.
Can I
something
wear
right
your
now.
old jersey? Like just like so it's real big on me and stuff, but I look like I'll hold a Pepsi.
But we can't do that because it might look like a sleep jersey on a female.
I'm a jinx it and the team will break up.
So I'm wondering if Social High could take over the banking industry and make it safe for cannabis users next.
I don't think we're going to go that route. You know, we're the proverbial ship in international waters, you know.
All right.
People can come on, they can communicate, they can find people nearby. They could find people who's here at Chalice that wants to smoke.
Facebook, you can get money through right now. I just learned
Right.
recently I could do payments. Is that something that I could do with
Shady.
Social High in the future?
No. Just for the nature of what we do, we don't ever want to be
Facebook
construed
has
as...
vague anonymity. Like
The
I
feds-
might
the
be
fed-
buying weed with the money, I might not. But on Social High, you know, definitely buying weed.
Being a former underground cannabis, you know, they would love
Grower.
to come. They would love to come and
Entrepreneur.
charge us as a kingpin. You know, if we were accepting money, we don't even allow sales if you aren't a legitimate dispensary.
And you guys are located out of Boston?
That's correct.
And now Boston's a big sports state, like huge sports state, right?
No,
No, not at all.
All right, like huge.
Not at all. Tom Brady.
How is it like being this close to the New Orleans Saint Boo Williams right here? Is that like a football?
It's pretty effing cool.
What's the Boston football team?
The New England Patriots.
Wow, Mike, you are detached.
Come on, really? Deflate
I've
gate?
heard
You don't
it
know what's
now.
going
I
on
don't-
with Tom Brady right
I
now?
know Boo Williams plays for the New Orleans Saints, and that's all I need to know. Pound it, right, Boo? That's all I need to know. NFL knowledge 101 right there.
Boo,
won't
thank
be
you for being here too and supporting this cause. Like, that's awesome, man.
Yeah, he's a huge activist in the cannabis community.
I really appreciate it. You know, I just try to use the platform that God gave me and try to shine a light on some issues that need to be shined a light on. You know, one of the main issues right now within professional sports is CTE. You know, and it's a degenerative brain disease that's killing a lot of former athletes, football in particular. And we're just trying to make a wave in the cannabis industry so we, you know, get the athletes out of that way of taking pharmaceuticals so now we can use cannabis.
Well, I'll tell you, but one of the things we have on Social High is we have interests that people can list on their profile along with their favorite strains. Right now, that's just to gauge what people are interested in, but we're going to have content behind those, and one of them is sports. We would love to have somebody like you providing us content or being a voice for the sports industry.
I would love that, man. Listen,
I feel like we're a matchmaking service today.
You know what? You can.
Do we get a commission, Chris, on this? Like, is that a 2% finder?
Hey, Boo, before you get too far, why don't you tell them about the products you have, too?
Well, you know, I got some products that's coming out, CBD products. My new CBD line is called Blueberry Cares. It's going to be a CBD line catered to athletes, veterans, and kids. And I'm putting together a tour as we speak for me to go around delivering care packages to sick, you know, kids, athletes, and vets. And then along the way, I'm stopping at children's hospitals, homeless shelters, Feeding America and stuff like that, so I can promote, you know, further promote my cause.
That's great. You know, I think that what you're doing in the cannabis industry is just amazing.
Appreciate it. Like I said, man, it takes more guys like myself to step up to the plate, you know, and use, you know, the platform that, like I said, that God gave you and use it for a greater cause. And, you know, myself, you know, I went through a troubled time in my life in 2011, and it was just by the grace of God that some homeless people saved me. So,
Right.
you know, I only think that it's only right that, you know, I give back and try to contribute my part as much as possible.
And you're doing it.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
All right. Boo Williams, everybody. Boo Williams.
Did you have a question, did you say? Wait, Chris, do we want to take an audience
Oh,
question?
Lord. If
Can
it's
we
for
do that?
Brian Jordan, absolutely.
This sounds fantastic. Yes, sir.
What do you think about the Dallas activities last night?
From the young, strapping-looking gentleman in the front, what do you think about the Dallas activities last night?
Well, me personally, I think it was a tragic situation. You know, we must come together as a culture first before we come together as the world.
Right.
You know, and we have to change our culture and our way of thinking, and that's why my saying for my company is saving lives and changing minds. Because if we change the way of our thinking on certain issues, then we can save the lives of many people.
Amen. We'll all applaud to that. Well said, sir. Well said. Well, Social High, I want to know a little bit more about, how do people find this? Is it all platforms? Is it just like
You better tell them you're saving children or something, Scott.
Yeah, step up to the plate now, Scott.
No,
Match
honestly,
that.
He's Iron Man.
we are a completely mobile app right now. You either got to go to the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store to download us onto your phones. And everybody's always out there taking selfies, smoking here. Chalice, you can post those up. Hashtag Chalice, hashtag Speakeasy. Boo, you got a favorite hashtag you guys use for your stuff?
Hashtag saving lives, changing minds.
Saving lives, changing minds.
Do you have a shorter but also equally meaning hashtag?
Love life.
Love life. All right, I like that
I'm
one.
on board with that.
So you can go on socialhigh.com right now, get yourself a profile, hashtag Speakeasy Live, hashtag Boo Williams, hashtag that Boo Williams loves life, put like 14 O's after Boo Williams so you're saying it right.
And make sure you hashtag Speakeasy Live Show.
I know you can find Mike on there too. Mike's got a profile
Yeah,
already.
I have a profile.
We're going to see what we can do about getting Boo signed up right after this.
Oh, that'll happen.
Let's get it done. Let's get it done. But Mike's profile, he might have the Speedo on. So that's the profile you have to
Cannabis
look for.
content only.
It's quite all right because I actually photoshopped his body with my head, so you can't even tell. The Speedo looks fantastic.
As long as he's holding a bong, a rig, or a blunt.
There you go.
You guys, everybody from Chris Glew, the one of the number one, I guess I say it, cannabis attorneys in the United States, and myself, Medicinal Mike, and all the guests that we've had on today in Chalice 2016. Thank you to Mr. Boo Williams, Scott Batano, Social High, Stoner Rob was in today, George Jung from Blow, Boston George. It's been a fantastic day. Again, big shout outs and thanks to CBD Living Water, Speakeasy 710, Super Click,
Sly Vegas
Photography, Boom's Farm, Habit Vibe, everybody
Super
in Chalice.
Clinic,
Did I
Super
miss anybody?
Clinic.
Super Clink.
Do they have any alcohol in this CBD water that you drink? Okay.
We can modify it for anybody.
Hey, don't forget Social High's partner, Greenleaf Magazine. I know Brett would.
And Social High,
Forgot
make
about
sure you get it in your
Let's
app.
get that
or he
again.
will
What is
come
it?
out and
Powered
kill
by
you
who?
personally.
Powered by who?
Greenleaf Magazine is one of our partners. We're also powered by Leafly. You can find strain data on there as well.
Leafly and Greenleaf Magazine.
Correct.
Yeah, big shout out to Greenleaf. They're my homies.
All
Thank
right.
you everybody for watching Speakeasy Live. Chris Glew, what did you learn today?
I learned that more people that drink alcohol should take CBD to save their lives. I learned that Blow is still one of the coolest movies of all time. And
But
George
not one of the coolest pastimes.
and George is my hero. And Boo has the coolest name in the NFL. Forever and ever. Boo. And I learned that Social High is filling a huge void that's been left by Facebook, by Twitter, by Instagram, because they're all corporate and they're all weak and they all don't want to participate on the level that Social High does. So congratulations and kudos to Social High.
And thank you to all the beautiful ladies that have been helping us today to
Thank
make
you,
this
ladies.
an awesome Chalice. So let's all go out and have fun. Stay tuned for day 2, Speakeasy at Chalice.
CBD living water. Drink a lot. It's hot out there.
And you never have to pee.